Wargroove, from the first time I saw it at a Nintendo Indie Showcase, seemed destined to succeed. It seemed to be, with enough of its own personality, a synthesis of the Fire Emblem series and the Advance Wars games. Boasting a tactical RPG framework with units and characteristics that couldn't help but be compared, Wargroove, especially around the time of its original release, was perfect for Advance Wars fans who didn't know the series would eventually return to Switch. But even going beyond either Fire Emblem or the Wars series of games, Wargroove aimed to become a continuous gaming experience, featuring a robust creative online space for custom levels as well as challenges. But how does it all work? Is this the ultimate strategy RPG formula, refined to a level of player customization? Well, it's definitely really excellent, and it offers a great amount of variety. While it's not perfect, it certainly does succeed in most ways. Looking at the finer mechanics of Wargroove, it's essentially the same as the Advance Wars games, wherein which you navigate units on a square grid map to eliminate other units, secure nodes, and ultimately defeat the enemy. There's a decent variety of tasks between levels, ensuring there isn't constant repetition between missions. There's also a good amount of enemy types and specific challenges that we see interdispersed between levels. In this sense too, the balancing between class weaknesses, like for instance pikersmen having an advantage over horseback knights, magic users having advantages over flying units, etc., is also very well done. While it's not quite the tried and true weapon triangle of the Fire Emblem games, the system makes enough sense to be enjoyable. There's characters and a story, but in all honesty, I wasn't all that compelled by the narrative of Cherry Grove and the corresponding monarchs and community and all that.
Valda!
A dying king comes back with a grave warning of an ancient evil. A noble heir to the throne, young for the role, must take military leadership. Yeah, we've all seen it before.
Emmerich! Listen.
It isn't safe.
What Wargroove does, however, bring to the table is a whopping load of personality and beautiful aesthetics. It's not just content it's loaded with here. Comedic and charming writing coupled with a simple yet highly detailed and vibrant series of character designs and sprite animations makes Wargroove incredibly fun to not just play, but watch and engage with. I mean, you do get to lead an army as a dog, so, I mean, yeah, Wargroove has a lot going for it. I mean, look at, it's a dog leading an army. That, yeah, say no more.
What?
If you enjoy tactics RPGs, it might not have the nuanced story of Final Fantasy Tactics or Ogre Battle, it might not have the integrated relationship features of the modern Fire Emblem games, and it may lack the focused gameplay system that the Wars games nail, but what it does do well, is literally everything else.
I'm unstoppable!
It's a living, indie-developed template for effective SRPG gameplay and design. It's incredible to behold the level of focus and attention to detail that went into the level creator alone. There honestly didn't even need to be a story here. It could have just been pre-packed with levels that introduce classes and concepts, but no, we get a full narrative with crazy characters involved to boot.
No.
The music as well is surprisingly fantastic, with some tunes that are practically designed to get stuck in your head. Seriously, for an indie game, this is a banger score. Great melodic loops help the longer missions and levels stay from getting stressful or boring. Sound effects are also nice, though they take a back seat to the sprites and score, which are really the main aesthetic highlights. Again, it's not anything original necessarily, but for what it's worth, what's here is great.
I'll save you all. Healing aura!
One last note I want to make is on the game's difficulty. Even though I have completed some brutally hard Fire Emblem, Tactics Ogre, and other SRPG game levels, I haven't been left so hopeless and willing to turn down difficulty than I have been with Wargroove. No joke, after the first few acts, the game's main campaign levels get hard. And I do mean hard. And winning gets done, at least in my experience, by the skin of your teeth. Powerful enemy units you can't create for your army show up and start whooping ass, and it only gets more challenging from there. I admire difficult SRPGs. I often think of harder levels from the GBA Fire Emblem games that really tested my mettle, but I've never been taken for more of a ride than with Wargroove. And mind you, I was playing the game's intended experience, quote unquote. To win, I needed to drop down to the story mode difficulty on a good amount of levels. Definitely not a walk in the park, even for more experienced SRPG fans. Granted, I'm sure there'll still be people in the comments shouting, "Get good," and all that, claiming they never lost a mission once or whatever, but I don't care. This one was challenging, regardless of what the people say. I'm just saying, like, I had a hard time. What do you want from me? That being said, it's all still very fun and engaging, providing a great single player or multiplayer experience for those who want to play. Since the original release, the developer has only supported it more with free updates that add more story missions and other forms of content. Seriously, for an indie production, this is a serious product. I consider this one of the finest games Chucklefish, a already pretty accomplished publisher, has ever published. And it stands as both an evolution and love letter to the strategy game genre, but also its own beast that offers enough to retain an identity. If you still haven't played Wargroove, I definitely think it's time to brush up on your tactics and give it a try.